It's 6:30 in Dikinimiki, 6:30 in Messager, 6:30 in Warner, equally 6:30 here in Douala, the economic capital of the country. You're watching the 6:30 Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for being a part of today's edition of the News on My Media Prime. My name is Gienda Peldrin Blanche King. As Cameroonians continue to pour words of encouragement to bereaved family members of those involved in the unfortunate accident on Sunday, the head of state, His Excellency President Paul Biya, has equally reacted to the recent accident that claimed the lives of over 30 persons in Dikinimiki. The condolence message sent through the governor of the Center region gives instructions for measures to ensure appropriate treatment for all injured persons. Meantime, Transport Minister Jean-Enes Ngalema Senabebehe has suspended Avenue Interurban Transport Agency for a period of 1 month. Findings revealed that the company grossly violated traffic regulations, which led to Sunday's accident. From Cameroonian refugees to Nigeria and some internally displaced persons living in Mamfe have received food items and other materials from the head of state. During an event organized by the Mamfe Council last weekend, the ex-refugees and internally displaced persons expressed happiness and the need for peace to return in the two English-speaking regions of the country. Details in the following report with Tamfu Sidwandimbia.
Manu Division, Southwest Region of Cameroon, internally displaced persons and some Cameroon refugees who returned to Cameroon from Nigeria have received end-of-year gifts from the head of state, Paul Biya. The items were channeled through the Department of Civil Protection at the Ministry of Territorial Administration and later on handed over to the mayor of Mamfe to distribute to ex-refugees and internally displaced people in his municipality.
That's the ex-refugees. During the crisis, these people were seriously touched. They traveled to Nigeria for safety, and today they have come back because of the peace and serenity.
The mayor of Mamfe, Robertson Tabenchong, also thanked the head of state and says he has done much for his municipality and that those who have been affected by the crisis will also benefit from the head of state's plan for reconstruction of the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon.
President Paul Biya has done a wonderful thing. And apart from this, they have also registered in the presidential plan for reconstruction and development. That means their household equipment will be given back to them.
The items distributed will go a long way to help the returnees and the internally displaced persons enjoy the end of year as they receive food items and bedding materials.
Particularly mattress, blankets, pots, utensils, buckets, and other items.
Some of the returnees and displaced persons expressed happiness while stating that they pray the crisis comes to an end for peace to last.
Because of the crisis, they should go. They kill some of them, might begin themselves before we don't go for Nigeria, so we don't come back.
At least we don't try for the receiving back again, and I try for the making of the matter. A call for the owner.
I receive rice, sardines, so mattress and blankets because we were suffering, internal display and all the like.
So over trouble, I said that people can't die from my country. I will go die from Nigeria.
On his part, the divisional officer of Mamfe, Ndumbe Jean-Marc, says the head of state wants all refugees to return to their communities as peace progressively returns to the northwest and southwest regions of the country.
All Cameroonian citizens are back to their motherland, to their country.
A peaceful society may prevail in Mamfe and the entire Manu division if the population continues to preach the importance of peace and living together.
Two road infrastructures are already open for use in the center region of the country. The symbolic cutting of the ribbon took place yesterday at Nangai Boko. The presentation of these infrastructures and its contribution in the following report with Etape Conte.
Collection Dink 89 km, Inanga et Boko, Bifoko 6 km, sont les infrastructures routières inaugurées hier 28 décembre 2020 par Emmanuel Nganou Doumissi, le ministre des Travaux publics, dans la ville de Nangaï Boko, située dans le département de la Haute-Sanaga, région du centre. Tenant le ciseau entre ses doigts, le patron du MINTP coupe le ruban symbolique aux couleurs de la nation. L'infrastructure est désormais opérationnelle. En dehors de la chaussée déjà inaugurée, d'autres travaux seront faits à l'intérieur du département, mais aussi d'autres infrastructures de type social y seront construites.
Il y a des ramifications routières qui seront faites, mais il y a aussi des infrastructures à caractère social, caractère éducatif, comme les salles de classe, les maisons de santé, les maisons de la femme qui vont être aménagées.
Pour l'heure, ces routes serviront à l'amélioration du niveau de service de cette partie du réseau routier. En plus, elles favoriseront la liaison entre les régions, notamment du centre, de l'Est et du Grand Nord. Un projet qui a coûté au moins 55 milliards de francs CFA. C'est une réalisation qui traverse les localités et régions riches en potentiel agricole. Avant la coupure du ruban, à l'escale de la délégation à Ndokem et Nding, les populations bénéficiaires ont exprimé leur remerciement au chef de l'État pour cette autre réalisation qui ouvre le département à la modernité. Était présent à la cérémonie d'inauguration le secrétaire chargé des routes, M. Armand Djodom, et le gouverneur de la région du centre, Nassiri Paul Biya. Les maires d'Nkotem et Nangaï Boko ont exprimé leur joie.
Le chef d'État avait promis la construction de cette route dès les années 83-84. Nous avons attendu, nous avons été patients. Aujourd'hui, nous bénéficions de l'une des infrastructures les plus belles.
Toutefois, le ministre Emmanuel Nganou Doumissi a invité ces derniers à s'organiser pour une bonne conduite des opérations de cantonnage le long de cette route pour protéger les infrastructures.
We now talk about the meeting called by Health Minister Manauda Malachi to evaluate COVID-19 response plan in the country. The meeting started yesterday with a series of consultations with technical and financial partners. Details in the following report with Audrey Satsa.
The 3 days meeting, which began yesterday, 28 December in Yaoundé at the conference hall of the Ministry of Public Health and presided by Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malachi, has as main objective to assess the government's response to the COVID-19. Minister of Public Health pointed out during this meeting the importance of evaluating this fifth phase of the pandemic in the country before moving into the sixth. According to him, there is an overall relaxation with respect of barrier measures put in place by the government to stop the spread of the virus outbreaking in neighboring countries with a new strain of COVID-19 which is mutant and more virulent. Convened at the 3-day meeting, which will end tomorrow 30th, are medical personnel, parliamentarians, officials of central administration and politicians. At this time, where the country is preparing to host the 2020 African Nations Championship, accompanied with school resumption, Minister of Public Health has called on every Cameroonian to be more responsible so as to limit the transmission of the virus.
In the report that follows, our reporter Jean Didier takes us back to Christmas Day celebration in Garigombo. His report.
Tout petit de la maternelle de la localité de Garigombo, située à environ 220 km de Beto, la capitale régionale de l'Est, ont vibré ce réveillon de Noël où le Père Noël est descendu avec sa corbeille pleine de jouets. Comme dans les grandes villes du pays, c'est pour la toute première fois que les enfants de cette localité enclavée du département de la Bumba Ngoko ont reçu des paquets pour un réveillon de Noël en couleur. Autorités administratives, parmi lesquelles le premier adjoint préfectoral du département de la Bumba Ngoko, ainsi que du sous-préfet de Garigombo. Autorités militaires et traditionnelles, parents et amis, tous sont venus célébrer les tout-petits autour du maire donateur, Sa Majesté Simomori de Bingue Hervé et son épouse, qui, avec la main sur le cœur, n'ont pas hésité à mettre les petits plats dans les grands. Et ceci n'est que le commencement d'un élan de cœur qui entend se prolonger les années à venir.
J'ai voulu apporter un peu de cœur de mes enfants en leur apportant ce que nous avons au petit peu pour pouvoir les contenter. J'ai voulu voler au secours de certains parents qui étaient démunis en apportant certaines offrandes, certaines offres aux enfants pour pouvoir leur permettre de passer très bien leur fête de Noël. Ce n'est qu'une première occasion aussi parce que la commune n'a pas suffisamment de moyens. Mais on s'inscrit dans le temps et notre logique voudrait que les jours à venir, nous puissions rallier l'ensemble des écoles, l'ensemble des établissements, l'ensemble des villages, pour que ces enfants qui n'ont jamais vécu cette ambiance puissent se mettre en compte de ce que Noël leur appartient. Voilà, c'est essentiellement la motivation là-bas et c'est pour cela que je voudrais profiter de votre initiative pour souhaiter encore joyeux Noël à mes enfants.
La cérémonie, ponctuée par des sketchs, chants et danses, a montré à suffisance le savoir-faire des tout-petits sur les ovations des autorités de la place, qui se sont délectés un temps soit peu du spectacle dont les auteurs ne sont autres que les tout-petits. Rendez-vous a été pris pour l'année prochaine.
Out of the country, Nora Kakebi took note of some striking news stories in other African countries.
The French presidency has announced that 3 French soldiers died in Mali yesterday as their armored vehicle was hit by an improvised explosive device in a military operation aimed at fighting Islamist extremists in Africa's Sahel region. It should be noted that the soldiers were taking part in a military operation in the Hombori area of Mali's central Mopti province. According to French Defense Minister Florence Parly, the soldiers were involved in a mission aimed at helping Mali to gradually be able to ensure its own security. She added that they were operating in an area where terrorist groups attack civilians and threaten the regional stability. French President Emmanuel Macron has paid tribute with great respect to the fallen soldiers. Still in Mali, authorities in Mali say they began an inquiry into the violation of state security on Monday. This comes after 6 prominent figures were detained for questioning earlier this month. The most prominent person was radio broadcaster Muhammad Yusuf Batheli, who is a popular figure with young Malians. Before their arrest, it was said there was a scheme to destabilize transitional institutions set up after the coup. Meanwhile, the new president of Burkina Faso, Roch Christian Kabore, has vowed to make security his priority after he took the helm of the troubled Sahel country for the 2nd term. At least 1,200 people have been killed and 1 million of Burkina's population have fled their homes. Kabore acknowledges the scale of damage wrought by jihadists who extended their campaign from neighboring Mali. The president has vowed to launch a broad consultation in the coming months after settling down ways towards national conciliation. He will take into account political, economic and blood crimes which from 1960 to this day have continued to poison relationships.
In sports, the official mascot for CHAN 2021 was in Douala earlier today. Tara is on a tour of cities that will host the upcoming African Nations Cup come January 2021. Darling Gane followed the mascot and captured the following moments.
With barely a few weeks into the official kickoff of the prolonged 2020 African Football Championship, CHAN, the official mascot Tara, in continuation of animations towards the advanced games, has exercised similar activities in Douala, chief town of the littoral region of Cameroon. After Yaoundé, where the tour was launched at the multipurpose sports complex by the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Mouele-Kombi, Tara was received early this morning at the Littoral Governor's office by the region's top official, where the ambiance began. While touring the most prominent streets of the city, notably Bonanjo, Rond-Point-d'Edo, passing through Anse-Raphael to the Bouzy Bonaberry neighborhoods and then a return to Ndokoti, the mascot waved in optimism to ignite the football feeling in the audience. In what can be termed a display of cultural diversity, the famous Sawa traditional dance group Abele also initiated Tara to dancing to the rhythms and tunes at every given opportunity. As the display captured the minds of many, though on a busy day, hundreds of onlookers could be spotted abandoning their daily tasks in marrying with Tara. And to crown it all, it wouldn't have been a long-lasting memory if these historic moments weren't captured in the smartphones of the multitude of fans as they anticipate the official kickoff of the CHAN 2020 Championship come January 16, 2021.
Cameroon's international female striker Njoya Jara presented trophies acquired with her Norwegian club during the 2019-2020 session. She was received at Fecafoot's headquarters in Yaoundé as she presented her trophy to the president of Cameroon football, President Seydou Mbumbo Njoya. The indomitable lioness has been outstanding during this season and ended up as the top goal scorer of the 2020 Top Serran Women's Championship. And that's it for today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for watching us. Join us tomorrow, God willing, at 6:30 Cameroon time for another edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. The news was coordinated by Faith Tataberenyoy and produced by Ewane Eli Nolinga. My name is Genda Peojin Blanche Gang. Stay tuned to My Media Prime at 7 p.m. Cameroon time. Kumlu and I will be live to talk about issues affecting the world, Cameroon and Africa. Enjoy today's edition of Prime Hour. Good night. Happy viewing.